We got a mini Daytona on our hands. Oh boy, this is gonna be fun. How's it going, guys? Hopefully you're having a good Tuesday. Wasn't expecting to make a video on Atlanta doing a new track configuration, but I found it interesting. So here we are. We're gonna talk about it. Shout out to all the Patreon supporters for always supporting the channel. We have 3 new ones today. We got Nathan Gardner, we got Tyler Johnson, and Miles Gurley. So thank you guys for joining the Patreon. Huge support as always. And yeah, you guys' support will be seen in a few days, just a few more days until the new PC comes in. I will make a video on that too, showcasing guys the PC and everything. But that PC is gonna be all you guys, so that's why. And not just Patreon supporters, like literally everyone that watches, that PC is all you guys. I would not be able to get something like that if it wasn't for your support. So seriously, thank you so much. Till then, a few more days of making videos like this, because again, gotta do it this way, face cam. And unfortunately, I would love to do this video where I can, scroll Twitter with you guys, look at the reaction and the comments of this new Atlanta configuration, but I can't do that. So I'm actually going to use my phone right here, and I'll just post at it the things I've been looking at, so it'll be a little bit different. So Atlanta is doing a repave. That's been fairly obvious. We've known that's going to happen for a very long time. No matter how much the drivers and certain fans don't want that to happen, it was going to happen. The track actually got to a point where it was probably too old, too bumpy, too aggressive on the tire wear, because it just it was a little bit too much. Again, to drive it, probably really, really fun, but there is a balance to this. And we'll talk about that later in the video, the balance between what the drivers want and what NASCAR wants. But yeah, it got to a point where it was a little bit too much, a little too old. And just for the track itself, it was a pain just to, keep it in shape to race. So yeah, the repave was coming no matter what. What was interesting today was the reconfiguration. Now, Atlanta said at 12:30 today there was going to be a announcement. I knew that at that point it was definitely a repave, but I was wondering if there was going to be a reconfiguration. And there was actually a pretty major one. I was going to say minor, but it is pretty major. Before the announcement, I thought they might go to the old Atlanta. Remember, there was a picture. If I can find it, I'll put it in here. There was a picture of Atlanta with a model or like a concept art of having like a casino and everything outside the track, and it had the old layout and everything. I think gambling laws and stuff did not pass through recently, so that is why that cannot happen. But maybe it still can happen in the future. It's just the layout of the track is actually not what it was in the concept art. So that was the old Atlanta, when did they repave Atlanta? Pre-97? Yeah, I have no idea. That's too long ago. We're talking like almost 25 years. I ain't dealing with that. I don't know. But yeah, 2022 Atlanta is going to be interesting. Now, just for a few reference points, Daytona's width. So the track width is something we're going to be talking about a lot. Daytona's track width is 40 feet, okay? Atlanta's track width in the turns will be 40 feet starting in 2022. So just so you understand how wide Atlanta is going to be, it's the same exact length in the turns as Daytona. Same thing. Daytona has 31 degrees of banking. Old Atlanta, or what we have right now, is at 24 degrees of banking. The new one in 2022 will be at 28 degrees of banking. So it's going to be higher banked. It is not progressive banking. I repeat, not progressive. So it is 28 at the bottom. It's 28 at the top. The track currently is 55 feet wide on the front stretch, the back stretch, and the turns. It will be 52 on the front stretch because I guess with the little loop, they can't make it narrower. 42 on the back stretch and 40 in the turns. And the apron will also be 18 degrees banked. So currently the banking from the old track, or from this track, is 24 degrees to 4, and the new one is 28 to 18. So that, I guess the banking might be, I don't know, that's gonna be interesting. You can actually go down there. That's not so 10 degrees difference of banking between the actual racing surface and the apron is not a lot. That's going to be very interesting. So yeah, the track itself is going to be a lot narrower, and it's going to be high banked. And so their goal is to create, quote unquote, close racing. And even so, they actually I think the track president even said this. He said pack racing. That's actually one of their goals, is they want pack racing. That's Interesting. So yeah, this is going to be a mini Daytona. It is the same width. It is only 3 degrees less banking, and you have to remember at Daytona there are tapered spacers and everything, and you go, what is it, 195, 200. Say at Atlanta, you would be going again with the 500, and I'm assuming with next gen we probably will have this, the 500 horsepower, 550 horse, somewhere that keeps the speeds below 180, so it will be full throttle. You have to remember that it is also going to be a repave, so it's going to be smooth as butter, and that's how it's going to be for the next decade or so. So yeah, this is. I'm not saying it's a plate track, but it is a full throttle intermediate pack racing track that isn't Daytona. It's unique, okay? It's not Daytona and Talladega. Those are still its own little beasts. This is like a mini beast. That's what this track is gonna be, which is just gonna be really weird. Because there's no progressive banking, it isn't gonna race like let's say a Kansas or Chicagoland. It's not gonna race like that. Even if you put something like 900 horsepower in the car, yeah, it'd be going too fast. So I think what NASCAR and what Atlanta is looking for, they are looking for a pack race of sorts. And I know people are gonna get upset by that. I'll be honest, I don't mind it. Here's my reasoning. Everyone knows I don't like 550 horsepower, but here's the thing. Give me my short tracks, which Auto Club's turning into one. We still have Richmond, we still have Bristol, we still have Martinsville, and we should have more in the future. Give me my road courses. We have 7 at the moment. I said 6 last video. It's 7 because you have the Indy road course now. So you took away Indy and you put Indy road course. So 7 plus short tracks plus your super speedways. And then you have your intermediate tracks. Some of them, like Homestead, will remain. Homestead is not going to be changed. It'll still be a great mile-and-a-half track. And then you have this. The reason why I'm okay with it is because, guys, there's nothing like Atlanta, what this new Atlanta is going to be. Texas is destroyed because of the less banking. What else we got? Kentucky is its own little thing. Nashville is a very unique racetrack. Darlington is Darlington, obviously a very unique racetrack. You have Dover, another concrete mile, very unique racetrack. New Hampshire is only a mile track. So when you look at the actual schedule and you think about intermediate tracks, you have Charlotte, that's still your kind of cookie cutter track. You have Kansas, one of the best mile-and-a-half tracks, that has a progressive banking, the asphalt's worn down, so that's really good. You have nothing like Atlanta. Atlanta, or the new Atlanta, genuinely is a mini super speedway, and there's nothing like that, which is why I'm okay with it. All right, I don't want 6 of these. I don't want to go to Daytona and then go to Atlanta and then go to a reconfigured Charlotte. That's also I don't want to do that. But you're telling me there's only one of this type of track? I'm okay with that. I'm the whole fan of, I actually wish every track would only have one race. You'd go to that place only once, and every track would only have one race. And obviously that will never happen because you can't take away a track from Daytona, you can't take away a track from Charlotte, a race, you can't do that. So that won't happen. But as long as the types of track vary, as long as you still have your Darlington, you still have your Dover, you still have your cookie cutter Charlotte, the mess that is Texas down there. I mean, who knows what's going to happen there. You still have Kansas, which is great. You still have the best mile-and-a-half, which is Homestead, Miami, my home track. Love that place, never touch it. You still have that. And now you have a mini super speedway in Atlanta. So I don't mind that. I think it would be if anything, an entertaining race. But now let's talk about some of the things that I don't like. And this is something that I do not like at all with how they went about this. So Atlanta is owned by Speedway Motorsports Incorporated, SMI. And their operations head, Steve Swift, had like a press conference talking about the changes. So they said that the reason AMS did not go to the 1997 and true oval design beforehand is because Marcus Smith, who's the CEO, wanted to do something truly innovative and different, which falls in line with other SMI projects like the Roval and Bristol Dirt, which again, I don't mind it. That if you were going to reconfigure Atlanta to a mile-and-a-half, that would have been the way to go. But if Marcus Smith, the CEO of SMI, wanted to do something different, listen, Bristol Dirt was interesting, but the Roval is actually, I would say that's a hit. So again, if it's unique and if it's different, I'm not going to argue with that. I agree with that logic and that direction, so I don't mind it. Here's where I have an issue. So he also said that AMS and SMI did not talk much with the drivers on the next generation of AMS reconfiguration. He says that often what drivers want is not what fans want to see. This is where I have an issue. Okay, you have multiple parties in this situation, right? You have SMI, CEO Marcus Smith, head ops Steve Swift. You have NASCAR president Steve Phelps, competition directors and Steve O'Donnell and everyone else there. You have the teams, you have the drivers, and you have the fans. That is a ton of different parties, okay? So you have, plus you have like retired drivers. Like you have Dale Jr., you have Jeff Gordon putting their input on things, Tony Stewart, everyone, all right? In the end, the tracks and NASCAR have to work together along with the drivers and along with the fans. You can't specifically listen to the fans, and you can't specifically ignore the fans. You can't specifically only listen to the drivers, but you also can't specifically ignore the drivers. So when they say they did not consult with them, I have a major issue with that. Because the drivers know a lot more about racing, no offense, than you guys do at SMI. Seriously, I'm not kidding about that. They're the ones on the track. They're the ones that understand good racing. Yes, most likely, most of them would have said, don't repave it at all. I would not agree with that. That's a little bit too, you obviously need to, the track has to be running in a decent state, and it can't not be repaved forever. You have to repave it eventually. But to not consult with them on this redesign change is stupid and arrogant and ignorant, because you're ignoring one of the major parties that is involved in the pie chart. Again, you have fans, you have NASCAR, you have the tracks, you have the drivers and the teams, you have, again, sponsors as well. There are a lot of different people that have a say in this kind of, well, not really sponsors, they don't got a say in it, but a lot of different people that have a say in it, and everyone has to be on the same page. Just imagine if NASCAR went ahead with the next gen car and never had any NASCAR driver test it. They just had some random people test the car. They never put Kurt Busch in it. They never put Truex in it. They never asked for their opinions on anything. They just built the car, whatever it was, in the drive. Obviously, that would never happen. You can't just take a track and not consult the drivers that are going to be racing on that track about the redesign. You should at least get their opinion. To not do that is just, I mean, it's just simple. Don't act arrogant. Don't act ignorant. Like, just talk to them. Oh, God, I don't understand this nonsense. He went on to say that some tools and some mixed design and pavement itself that haven't been used yet will make the AMS debut as a 3 to 4 year old track. That's also good because, again, you don't want to repave this thing like a brand new highway. It's good that they learned their mistakes from, I think it was Kentucky and Michigan especially. Michigan's been destroyed with what they did to that repave. Swift says speeds were well over 200 miles per hour when they first tested this in iRacing. iRacing. They built this thing in iRacing. 10 months ago, the next gen test with more power restriction average around 180. So a bit slower than a car now on new tires. Reason is the track is narrower, so they can add banking without moving the walls. That like I said, you're gonna get the next gen car, but you're gonna get it at this track around 500 to 550 horsepower to minimize the speeds. We'll see how that goes. He said that in the iRacing test, there's been very little tire wear. Again, this is going to be a Daytona Talladega. You have to get your mind out of this as an intermediate track. It's a mini Daytona. So Hutchinson also said, we are confident the fans are going to love the product they will see here in 2022. We are changing what racing will look like on an intermediate track. Again, I disagree with that. You're just, well, actually, no, he's right. You are changing what you will see on an intermediate track, but it's a mini Daytona. You're taking plate racing and you're trying to put it into this. Many fans will not be happy about it. And this is a direction where SMI have to be really careful. And I'll actually be like, I'll directly be talking to Marcus Smith here. You did well with the Roval. Bristol Dirt was kind of stupid, no offense. Just leave Bristol how it is. Because you guys already ruined it in 2008. So just don't touch it, all right? Please. Don't make every intermediate track you own like this. I hope he knows that, because he said something unique and innovative, right? That's fine. I'm okay with one. I'm pretty sure many fans will be okay with one. The issue comes when you try to oversaturate the sport with this type of racing that fans do not want. There's a reason why, for decades, these pack racing style of tracks have always stayed at 4 races for the last 30-something years. I don't even know how long it's been. It's only been 4 races because it's too much. One, it's too much damage and wrecks on the teams because you know it's gonna cause them to spend a lot of money on damaged race cars. Number two, it's dangerous for safety concerns for the drivers because every time you go to Daytona and Talladega, you're literally risking your life with how the racing is right now. Number three, pack racing has always been a specific style of racing that is kind of its own little thing. You don't want 10 races per year that's pack racing. That's not what this is. That is not what NASCAR is. It's part of NASCAR at Daytona and Talladega, but you don't want to turn Atlanta and Las Vegas and I'm just picking random tracks. Michigan, and let's throw Auto Club in there. Like I say, they were doing a short track. You don't want to oversaturate that. You still need the balance, which is why I'm okay with one. I'm not okay with multiple more. I do think it'll be entertaining, but I mean, you do have to realize you're making some people mad here, especially the drivers. They love this track, and I do agree with having to repave it, but to not consult them is just so stupid. Like, why would you just not? Oh God, I don't understand. Oh Lord. There's a iRacing video that actually shows the track configuration. Now iRacing, I actually I've not been on it recently because I don't like the tire model on there, but you can see what the track looks like. It's narrow. It's gonna be pack racing. It'll be interesting. The best way I could explain it, it's gonna be like a weird version of IROC. Remember when IROC was at Atlanta many years ago, like 2 decades ago, and you had that kind of pack racing? You can't bump draft at it. Like, you're not gonna be able to push someone in the middle of the corner at this track. So it's just gonna be really weird. I don't really know what it's gonna be unique. It's gonna be weird. It's gonna be different, but it's gonna be weird. So yeah, I don't know. And then look, like you have Auto Club, for example, that's going to be like the fastest half-mile short track I think I've ever seen, because you're gonna have a half-mile with Bristol banking, but Martinsville long straights. Like, that's gonna be one of the fastest half miles in the world. So like, I don't know. We're entering some weird versions of racetracks now. I feel like we've gone into like some sort of create a racetrack builder on a video game and just thought of really weird stuff and just said, why not? Let's make it real life and spend millions of dollars. Okay, let's do it. In the end, guys, what do you think about all this? I don't have a major issue with it. I have an issue with how it was presented and how the decision came. I don't like not, discussing this with all parties and trying to get all parties to be somewhat agreeable on the direction that you're going. I don't like that. You need to be able to communicate as like a tight-knit group to overall benefit the health of the sport. So to ignore a whole party is really annoying and frustrating to me. But the idea of turning Atlanta into a mini Daytona, I'm okay with. I genuinely don't mind, because we have the short tracks, we have the road courses, we still have Daytona and Talladega, we still have tracks like Homestead and Darlington and Dover and New Hampshire and Richmond and all these really unique racetracks. Atlanta just falls into that category of a unique racetrack, something that we've never seen before. So I'm okay with that, and it'll be interesting. It will be full throttle racing. It will be pack racing, but we will see. If it's just random, we'll see. Now, if the championship race ever gets held there, then you'll see me have a problem with it. Because we ever decide a championship race at that track, no. If that happens, I'm out. See you later. Nope, not even here anymore. Yeah, no, that's the line for me, okay? The fact that we even have a championship race is stupid. That will be the line for me if you ever take that thing to Atlanta. Oh, no. No. Subscribe if you are new. Comment down below. This video is way too long. I will see you guys later. I'm going to end it right there. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram if you know already. Subscribe. Comment down below. Yada, yada, yada. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace out.